Hey there, welcome to Comic Book Cheese. If you're new to the channel, I want you to consider subscribing. It'll really help the channel out a lot. Plus, we have like a bunch of videos and stories that we have to get through. So if you want to follow us along on this journey, make sure you turn the notifications on. And I will see y'all in the video. Hope you enjoy. Thank you. Hey, what is up, y'all? Chad is here, and today we are back in it with World War Hulk. And today we get Ghost Rider. Oh my god, I love Ghost Rider. I think Robert Reyes might be my favorite Ghost Rider, but Johnny Blaze is still just as good. So we first pick up in this story, Johnny Blaze, he's just sitting in his diner, right? He's sitting in his diner, and basically he's like watching the news. And like when he's watching the news, they're basically going over, the Hulk's rampage, right? He's talking about, how the Hulk gave everyone in New York like 24 hours to get up out of there, or he's just gonna start like crushing everybody, showing Black Bolt's body, all that different stuff. Basically just showing like, what the Hulk has been up to. And Johnny Blaze, being the good guy that he is, he wants to go and stop it. But when he goes outside and like transforms into the Ghost Rider, the Spirit of Vengeance is like talking to him, and it's telling him that it's basically, not their business, right? They shouldn't go and do this. It's not really a concern to the Spirit of Vengeance, right? Because the Spirit of Vengeance is actually what the Ghost Rider is. But Johnny Blaze, he's like forcing it, right? And that's actually gonna like hinder what's gonna go on later in their fight, pretty much, right? So Johnny Blaze, he makes this, he tells the Spirit of Vengeance that he's gonna go do it, because it's the right thing to do. And he gets on his bike and he takes off, right? He takes off and he arrives right there in front of the Hulk, right? So he like shows up in front of the Hulk, right? And he's just like standing there, right? And like he's giving him this good little speech, he's telling him what he need to hear. Telling him like, oh, I got this, this anger, this vengeance and all that kind of stuff too, Hulk. Like if I can hold it in, so can you. And Hulk, he's just like, oh, bravo. He just like claps and sends Ghost Rider just like flying, sends him into a building, right? He sends him into a building, and like the entire time the Spirit of Vengeance is just like, okay, let me take over, Johnny. I can help you out here, because Johnny, he can't do this by himself, all right? So he like does that, and like Johnny, he gets like this idea, right? So he gets up on his bike and he like grabs his chain and he just like starts driving around this building, right? He starts driving around and he like drives past the Hulk, and Hulk's like, what is this guy doing? Like, what? He's just like, you trying to have a race or something? Like, what's going on? And like Johnny Blaze, he like rises and he just like pulls his chain, brings the entire building crumbling down. He brings the entire building crumbling down. Hulk looks up and he just falls on him, right? So from there, Johnny Blaze, he's just like looking, right? He doesn't know where the Hulk's at. He thinks he's just like under all this rubble, pretty much. And like he's just sitting there like confused. Hulk just like reaches up from the ground, grabs Johnny by the foot, drags him right up under and onto this subway platform, right? He drags him down there and like throws him back up in the air. When he throws Johnny back in the air, Johnny he throws his chain down at the Hulk and basically like wraps it around his neck, right? So he like lands, and like the first thing he does is he goes house on his bike and just starts driving away. He's just like, he's gonna try to like drag the Hulk all the way up out of there, right? So he can't hurt anyone, right? So when he's doing that, right, he's like driving and like he hears like this clink, and like as soon as he hears the clink, the entire train from the subway platform just comes roaring out of the ground. Like literally the Hulk, he tied the chain up to the train instead of himself, so he's just like holding on to the chain. And Johnny, he's just like, where's the Hulk at? Like, I thought I had him. And like he's like looking around, he looks up and the Hulk is just on top of this building about to jump off the top rope. He just like jumps up and just goes flying into Ghost Rider, right? So this is where we get like some explanation, right? Reed Richards, he's talking to Doctor Strange. He's talking to Doctor Strange. He's like, okay, you think Ghost Rider can beat this guy? And Strange, he's like, definitely he can, but I mean, like this isn't, this isn't the Spirit of Vengeance, stuff like that. He's basically telling them like how Johnny Blaze is basically the one he controls. Basically, like it hinders the infinite power that Ghost Rider has, pretty much, right? So he goes like crashing into him, the Hulk goes like crashing into Ghost Rider, right? And he comes out and he's like standing there, and Strange, like he's still like explaining to Reed, like like the Ghost Rider, he has like he like boundless power, right? Stuff like that. And this one he just like stops and he's like, oh my god. And like Reed is like, what? And Doctor Strange is like, okay, well, Johnny Blaze, he's not in control anymore. I think the Spirit of Vengeance just came out. And as soon as he says that, like the Ghost Rider, his eyes just light up, right? He's like laying in this like this little crater. His eyes light up, and this massive explosion just goes off. Like literally this huge explosion, literally strong enough to hurt the Hulk. That's not something easy to do. The Spirit of Vengeance did that with no problem. Like he just lets off this huge explosion, right? And he just like gets up on his bike, right? And he's like looking at the Hulk. He's like looking at the Hulk, Spirit of Vengeance. He's just like looking, and he just like turns around and drives away. And Reed is asking him, like, he's asking Doctor Strange, he's like, why did he leave? Like, where is he going? He has to like fight the Hulk. And Doctor Strange is like, I mean, technically, yeah, he should, fight the Hulk. But the Spirit of Vengeance only avenges, innocent people. Okay, that ain't us. Okay, we've done some heinous things. We've sent the Hulk off space. against his own will. Like we've done some heinous things. He's not gonna help us here, okay? Like we're way past the help of the spirit of vengeance. All right, he's not gonna do nothing for us, and that's where it just cuts from there, right? This Ghost Rider, he's gone. Like he's not about to help these guys. He just like leaves them to be. So from there, the Hulk, right? Back to Doctor Strange's mansion, right? All the mystics in the world, they just start like, like coming up to Doctor Strange. Echo, Iron Fist, all these different guys. They just come up to Doctor Strange, and they're just like talking to him, right? They're talking. They're like, okay, I mean, can't you get rid of this guy, Doctor Strange? Like y'all did all this, like they came back. Can't you like send him away or something? And then Doctor Strange is like, I mean, yeah, I can, but like I'm not gonna send him away so he can start like rampage on everybody else's planet. That's the same thing he told Tony Stark, a while ago, right? And basically that's where Echo's like, I mean, yeah, but like, can you kill him? And Strange is like, I mean, yeah, but like I'm gonna lose my soul if I do that. I don't want to lose my soul. I'm not trying to be a bad person. Like we did this. Why would I kill him for something that we did? That's our fault, right? Stuff like that. And Doctor Strange, he could do it. He would have to like go into like some dark magic, but he definitely could do it. It wouldn't be too hard for him. But from there, he's like, okay, yeah, y'all protect me, right? I'm gonna start doing these incantations. I'm gonna start casting all these different spells. Protect me, okay? So from there, we get Luke Cage, Miss Marvel, Spider-Man, Doc Samson, Ares. Like they're all just standing there, right? They're just standing there. And like the Hulk, he's just like he shows up against them. Like he's just like standing there looking at him. He's getting ready to like fight all these different guys, right? He's just standing there. And like soon as like they feel like they have like the upper hand against the Hulk, his entire Warbound shows up. Hero Machine, Brood, Meek, all these different people, Cord, like they just show up and they're just about to get ready to go at it with these heroes, right? So when Ares goes in and try to fight he tries to get the fight started, She-Hulk, she hops in the way. She's like, okay, no, we're not gonna do that. She's basically like gonna try to talk to the Hulk, but that's not where we're going with this. All right, she's like trying to talk to the Hulk. She's like, okay, Hulk, you can't do this, Bruce, come on now, like you can't be like out here just taking over the planet, trying to like hurt all these different people, right? We gotta do it by the book, we gotta do it the right way. And Hulk's just like, no, fight me. He doesn't want to hear nothing from nobody. Like he literally just wants to fight at this point. He's not trying to hear no explanations. He don't want to hear no, okay, but what ifs? No, he just wants to fight, and that is it. And she's just like, okay, yeah, but you're probably not gonna just like fight me out of nowhere. He throws a punch at her. She dodges it and punches him as hard as she possibly could in the face. Nothing happens. He tanked it with the greatest of ease. Literally tanked it, grabbed her by the arms, slams her into the ground. And as soon as he slams her, her only response is, God help us. Like that is the kind of threat that we're dealing with here. Like even She-Hulk, she's literally the strongest person of the hero group here, and literally she knows that they can't do anything here. There's no hope in winning this fight, and literally all of them, they just go fighting, right? So from there, we actually found out that they were actually just trying to like they were trying to stall basically, right? They're trying to stall for like T'Challa, Reed Richards, the Fantastic Four, Storm, all of them, because they have like this machine that they're working on, right? We don't know what it is initially, but we know that they're working on this machine, right? And basically, Reed, after the machine is done, he's basically telling like Storm and Black Panther like oh, y'all can leave now. Like, we can probably handle it from here, stuff like that. He's trying to send everybody away. He's trying to send like Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and thing. He's trying to send all these people away, so they don't get hurt. And basically, what T'Challa says is this is like the most T'Challa stuff to ever say. Like this, if you don't know how T'Challa works in the comics, this encapsulated perfectly. Ooh, can't talk. So what he says is, right, I mean, yeah, like if he just wanted y'all, okay, I would go. But this is a world war now, Reed. He's not just here to just take y'all anymore, right? He's doing what he needs. If you fight against him, he is going to like hurt everyone, okay? And eventually he will make it to Wakanda. I don't want that to happen, okay? So I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna help you take this guy down, and we're gonna leave it at that, all right? Just like that. That's literally the most T'Challa stuff you can say, because T'Challa, despite what everybody says, he's not necessarily a superhero, okay? He does what he does to keep his country safe. If it doesn't pertain to keeping his country safe, he doesn't care. He's just a king that does what kings do, pretty much, right? That's who T'Challa is, right? So from there, right, they end up getting this machine fixed, right? And this is where the Hulk shows up. He beat all the heroes that from like Spider-Man, Doc Samson, She-Hulk, like he took all them down, right? He shows up at the Baxter building, right? So Storm and Human Torch, right? They're super powerful. Like they're ridiculously powerful, both of them. Like they literally have enough power to just like destroy the planet if they wanted to. Well, not destroy it like completely, just like blow it up, but they can like they could affect it to a point where it's not inhabitable, right? They can literally like do a lot of stuff. But like Human Torch, because of how hot he can get. Storm, because of how her powers work, with the weather and stuff. They can do a lot of stuff. they can do nothing to the Hulk, okay? Like, they both amp their powers up to like as powerful as they can like possibly get it without like messing anything else up. Nothing happens to the Hulk. Literally, like, Human Torch is like blasting on this guy with as much power as he possibly can. He's just standing there just like tanking it, right? Sending everybody flying. Sue Storm, she's making her force field try to protect everybody. It's sending all of them flying. Reed Richards, the Thing, all of them, they just go like rolling away, right? And when the dust settles, the Human Torch has been taken out. Like, that is not no, like, that is what we're dealing with at this point, right? This is not just no normal Hulk, just like, you know, like rampaging around, okay? This is a danger. This is an actual threat. This is a planetary threat at this point, right? So when the Thing sees that the Human Torch got taken out, he jumps in and tries to fight, right? So like, when the Thing jumps in and tries to fight, like, he just like punches the Hulk like once, right? And like, so like after that one punch, the Hulk just like smashes his head, right? And when he goes to like deal the like, you know, the final blow against the Thing, right? The Sentry shows up, and when the Sentry shows up, Hulk, he just stops. He's like, oh my God, Golden Man, like, Sentry, you're here? What's it like? Hi, because like the Sentry, he gives off these like these radiation that basically like calms down the Hulk. You know, it keeps him from being angry. You know, it'll have him like revert back to his normal stuff, right? And when he shows up, right, Hulk, he reaches out, he grabs the hand of Sentry. He realizes that it's a metal hand, and he like crushes it. And Reed Richards is just standing there. He basically tried to like, you know, like recreate the illusion of the Sentry, pretty much, right? You know, giving off the radiation that he gives off, and you know, like having like the glow of the Sentry, basically. You know, just trying to basically like make something that can to basically try to calm the Hulk down. But there is no calming this guy down at this point, right? Like, he doesn't want to hear none of it. He grabs Reed by the hand, and he's getting ready to just like take this guy down. Reed, he's giving like a good fight because, you know, of his stretching powers. He's giving like a pretty decent fight, but eventually he gets overpowered and he's about to get destroyed. Sue Storm, she makes a force field around him, right? She's basically like trying to keep, you know, like Reed from getting just, you know, utterly just like massacred at this point, right? So this is like, you know, perfect right here. So Sue Storm's like, okay, Hulk, why are you doing this, man? And Hulk, he's just like, Hulk is just like, okay, well, what if you were in my position, Sue? What if Reed had gotten blown to smithereens? What if Valeria and Franklin got blown to smithereens? How would you take it? What would you be doing? You'd be doing the same thing I'm doing. Like, that was my family, and y'all just took it away from me. I'm gonna take this guy down. He slams on the force field, destroying the force field, like completely destroying the force field, and actually like taking her out at the same time, because, you know, like it did like mental damage to her pretty much. It takes down Reed Richards, right? So this is where Sue Storm, like, she's like talking to the Sentry, right? She's like asking the Sentry for help. She's like, Sentry, you gotta come help us, okay? He's taking down everybody so far. We can't deal with this guy. You're the only one who could do it. We need your help. And he's just sitting there, just like, you know, just like looking at the TV. He cares, but he doesn't want to go out there and just like, you know, start hurting people, right? Basically like letting his power just run wild, and eventually like maybe like turning into the void or something like that. And eventually, this is where we get like the Hulk, right? The Hulk, he's just like walking down the street, you know, like Reed Richards in hand. He's like while he's walking down the street, everyone is cheering for this guy. They're just like, oh yeah, go Hulk. Like, this is good. Like, these heroes have been doing all this for too long. Yeah, like, it's about time somebody showed them, you know, little stuff like that. You know, ignore those guys. They just, you know, they're just there at that point, honestly. So Rick Jones, right? Rick Jones. If you don't know, the Hulk, basically, this is where Bruce Banner first became the Hulk, right? Because Rick Jones, he was in the bomb site, and basically Bruce Banner went to go take him out of the way, pushed him out of the way. Bruce Banner got blasted with all the radiation. He became the Hulk. That's basically like, you know, in short, that's what it is. So Rick Jones is like the only friend that the Hulk actually has, right? So he goes to like try to calm the Hulk down. The Hulk is not hearing it, right? So while Rick Jones is like talking to the Hulk, basically Doctor Strange tries to sneak into his mind. He tries to sneak into his mind, but eventually he realizes that it doesn't work, right? And he gives like this explanation that the Hulk actually has to let him in. The Hulk isn't like, you know, letting him in, you know, right? So he like starts freaking out, and eventually this is where Hulk starts fighting, like, you know, the Hercules' team, right? And while he's fighting Hercules' team, General Thunderbolt Ross shows up. I don't know, I'm not too sure what he's gonna do with tanks and stuff, but he's there, so I mean, I guess that's something. Like, we can give him a participation trophy, I guess. I don't know. But I'm gonna end this story right here. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, leave a like if you enjoyed the story, and I will see y'all later with the next one.